Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 4. We will explain about the analysis fiction story of The Coming of the King by Laura E. Richard. Introduce our member. The first member is Izza Azimaturrohmah. The second member is Fitri Nuryanti. The third member is Risti Julaiha, and then the last member is Amelia Agustin. The first is the narration text will be delivered by me. The title is The Coming of the King by Laura E. Richard. All my children were at play in their playground One day, when a herald rode through the town, blowing a trumpet and crying aloud, the king passes by this road today. Make ready for the king." The children stopped their play and looked at one another. "Did you hear that?" they said. "The king is coming. He may look over the wall and see our play. Who knows? We must put it in order." The playground was sadly dirty, and the corner were the scrap of paper and broken toys. For these were careless children. But now one broke an hoe, and another a rag, and a third ran the fat wheelbarrow from behind the garden gate. They labored hard till late all was clean and dirty. "Now it is clean," they said, "but we must make it pretty too, for kings are used to fine things. Maybe he will not notice mere cleaners from he may have it all the time." The one broke sweet roses and started them the ground, and others made granulates of oak leaves and fine tastes and hugged them on the walls, and the heat little one followed marigolds, but they drew them all about the playground. "To look like God," he said. When I was done, the playground was so beautiful that the children understood and looked at. What? Lanjut, 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 lanjut. When all was done, the playground was so beautiful that the children stood and looked at it and clapped their hands with pleasure. "Let us keep it always like this," said the little ones, and the other cried, "Yes, yes, that is what we'll do." They waited all day for the coming of the king, but they never come, only toward sunset. A man with turtle-worn clothes and keen, tired face passed along the road and stopped to look over the wall. "What a pleasant place," said the man. "May I come in the rest, dear children?" And next, the narration text will be delivered by Amel.
Okay, thank you, Fitri. The children brought him in gladly and set him on the seat that they had made out of an old cask. They had covered it with the old red cloth to make it look like a throne, and it made a very good one. "It's our playground," they said. "We made it pretty for the king, but he didn't come, and now we meant to keep it so for ourselves." "That's good," said the man, "because we think pretty and clean is nicer than ugly and dirty," said another. "That is better," said the man. "And for tired people to rest in," said the littlest one. "That is best of all," said the man. He sat and rested, and looked at the children with such kind eyes that they came about him, and told him all they know about the 5 puppies in the barn, and the straw nest with 4 blue eggs, and the store where where the gold shell grew. And the man nodded and understood all about it. By and by he asked for a cup of water, and they brought it to him in the best cup with the gold springs on it. Then he thanked the children and rose and went on his way. But before he went, he laid his hand on their head for a moment, and then warm to their hearts. The children, the children stood by the wall and watched the man as he went slowly along. The sun was setting, and the light fell in long, slanting rays across the road. He looked so tired, said the one of children. But he was so kind, said another. See, said the littlest one, how the sun shines on his hair. It looks like a crown of gold. Next slide, Risti. The next is talk about elements in that story. For the setting, one day in the backyard of 3 little children who have their own playground, there are 3 kids and 1 adult. For climax, the king doesn't show up to the town. He also doesn't pass by the children's wall. For Sam, the coming of the king is delightful morality tale by Laura. Working together to make positive change and act kindly to others doesn't require a king at all, but the warmth in our heart can be as golden as a crown. For point of view, for first person using I, we, and second person using you, and third person using he. For the character, for children, they are kind and polite. It can be seen from how they prepare a comfortable place so that the kings like it. The king is a good king, is not arrogant who loves his people. The next might be
The next is generic structures. The first is orientation. All my children were at play in their playground one day when a herald rode through the town, blowing a trumpet and crying aloud, the king passes by this road today. Make ready for the king." The second is conflict. "It is our playground," they said. "We made it ready for the king, but he did not come, and now we mean to keep it so for ourselves." That is good," said the man, "because he thinks pretty and clean is nicer than ugly and dirty," said another. "That is better," said the man, "and for tired people to rest in," said the littlest one. "That is best of all," said the man. He sat and rested and looked at the children with such kind eyes that they came about him, and told him all they knew about the 5 puppies in the barn, and the third nest with 4 blue eggs, and the shore where the gold cells grew, and the man nodded the understood all about it. The third is resolution. By and by he asked for a cup of water, and they brought it to him in the best cup, with the gold sprigs on it. Then he thanked the children and rose and went on his way. But before but before he when he laid his hand on their heads for a moment, and the touch went warm to their hearts. And the last is reorientation. The children stood by the wall and watched the man, and he went slowly along. The sun was setting, and the light fell in long slanting rays across the road.
Okay, the next is language filter. For the first adjective, now it is clean, they said, but we must make it pretty. Two for kings are used to fine things. Maybe he would not notice mere cleanness, for he may have it all the time. In In this sentence, the word clean and pretty are the adjectives. Here, these two words, clean and pretty, are the positive adjectives. Another example, positive adjectives, that, that is good, said the man. Because we think pretty and clean is nicer than ugly and dirty, said another. For the second adverb is the sentence, now it is clean. This sentence, the word now is example of adverbs would be words that describe how something was done or the manner in which it was done. And the third interrogative is what a pleasant place, said the man. May I come in and rest, dear children? In the sentence, when you want to ask a question, then you have to use interrogative adjectives. Most importantly, a noun or a pronoun always follows them. Some of the examples of the interrogative adjective are what or may. For the fourth, for is possessive. Let us keep it always like this, said the little one, and the others cried, yes, yes, that is what we will do. This type of adjective shows possession. It indicates to whom a thing belongs. For the last, descriptive. The sentence, it is our playground, they said. We made it pretty for the king, but he did not come, and now we mean to keep it so for ourselves. Descriptive adjectives describe the nouns and the pronouns. Words like beautiful, silly, tall, annoying, loud, and nice are all descriptive adjectives. Okay. For me, that's enough.
Finish?
Victor. Yes. Yes, please.
I think enough for this explanation. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.